And hello, everybody, and welcome back to your Nebula Series Season 1 playoffs. We have a Div 4 matchup tonight. If I'm not mistaken, this should be the loser bracket finals matchup for Div 4.
Mhm.
Andromeda Spiral versus Lunar Eclipse. Winner of this match is going to end up facing Vitality Surge in the playoffs. And I mean, kind of we had the graphic here all this time. It could have might as well just shown it this way. But yeah, winner of this match will go on to face off against Vitality Surge in the grand finals. My name is Caustic here with you guys tonight. Joining me, I have Tetra, who's going to be your analyst for the night tonight.
Mhm.
All right, so these two teams, Andromeda, Spiral, and Lunar Eclipse. Lunar Eclipse, I believe, lost to Dental Revival at the start, which Andromeda Spiral did end up winning against. And Lunar Eclipse did, however, get their revenge in loser bracket round 2 when they faced off against Dental Revival. So this is going to be a fun matchup indeed.
Mhm.
Let's take a look at some of these teams right off of the bat here, Tetra. Let's take a look.
All right. You want to go first, or you want to?
Uh, Sure, I'll go first. So to
Okay.
start off for Andromeda Spiral, we've got Raptor on the tank. You got Kobayashi on the DPS along with Fallen Solo. And then for your support side of things, you got Dorcas and Lunar Moon. So that's going to be a fun composition, fairly common composition we've seen for this team as well. Basically the same people from same people you come to expect. And now for Lunar Eclipse, take it away, Tetra.
All right. We saw this last week, but we see its Verdon tank. We have using Yapper, sorry, with Dino Dan, Hades as we called him last time for DPS, and then for supports we have Cloud Lemon and Badger.
Yeah. So I mean these compositions, no real surprises right off the bat. These are all kind of the same people that we've seen for most of the series. These are the
Mhm.
staple guys or guys gals. Your staple teammates. You're not really seeing a wild card for a lot of these players.
Mhm.
So we do
Yeah,
have the
but
first map choice as well. I want to take a look real quick. First choice is going to be Busan. Fairly common control point, honestly. We've seen this a lot, especially for playoffs.
mhm.
We've seen this map 1,000 times.
Mhm.
For hero
Yeah, I mean,
bands. Oh, go ahead, Tetra. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's just a basic map. You can play a little bit of everything. I feel like it's pretty easy to play a default composition, so it's like a good map to lean towards if you're trying to play a certain team comp. Because you can kind of like you can kind of play like all of them. Play a little poke, little brawl, little dive. It's a good mix of Overwatch, if you
Yeah,
will.
that is very true. I mean, it's a good opening map. It's a good way to just kind of, test the waters. The best way to put it.
Hmm.
You get to test the waters not only for yourself, for your team, to be able to say, like, okay, poke's working well for us or it's not, but you also kind of get to see how the other team deals with certain compositions and gauge how that goes in your mind so that you kind of know what comp you want to run to face off against, this opposing team.
Hmm.
So for hero bans, Andromeda Spiral is going to be choosing to ban the Orisa. Lunar Eclipse is going to be banning the Freya.
Yeah. I don't exactly know why they banned the Orisa. I think the Lunar Eclipse obviously does play Orisa. They played it a few times in their last series. I do think there are better. I think honestly you could have banned look towards a different role maybe because on a map like Busan, I feel like it's somewhat not necessarily hard or easy, I should say, but I feel like it isn't the most complicated thing to work against Orisa on Busan. So I do wonder what team they're gonna play. Maybe like a ball comp. I don't really know much about Andromeda at all, so just kind of making assumptions.
Mm-hmm.
As for Lunar Eclipse, they banned the Freya, which I do understand why, especially with what they were playing last week. I do think Freya just get out the way. I mean, he's also just a good character overall. A little versatile, can do it all. So get rid of it early, though I do fear that this is gonna bite them because they banned it so early on when you could have waited, like map 3 or 4 when, the map counts really start to matter when one team's in match point. They banned it
Mhm.
very really early, so I'm not gonna go for them, but I guess we'll see as we go.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I like to see how these teams are going to adapt. I feel like Freya, you can use Freya on all of these points, but I think for them at this point, the ban is just kind of get them uncomfortable, you know?
Yeah, probably possibly.
Okay, it looks like I went to adjust my microphone and now my mic stand is loose. So
Oh,
that's.
great.
Oh, it's not loose, it's broken. Well, that is a fun new discovery. My mic stand broke.
Also, it isn't broken though. It's because it's team comp. We saw this last week. Dino Dan's Reaper was final. I mean, it was basically the final boss that, Dead or Rival just could not get through. So I wonder if it's going to be the same thing this time. Andromeda, Spiral, their team comp's kind of basic. It's pretty solid. The Soldier,
Mm-hmm.
Genji, Ram, good sustain, good mobility. It's good, it's a good versatile team
Honestly,
comp.
right off the bat, you're looking here for Dino Dan to pull their weight, especially in this into this composition, as early shots are going to get taken here. Raptor is half HP. They are going to be able to live. I'm going to have to be holding my microphone for the most of this cast, but we'll make it work anyways. So right now, it's Vert. They're going to try and cause some chaos. Dino Dan's going to try and jump in. They are going to use the wall, but the window from Raptor, but they're not going to get the die off it. Lunar Moon relatively low, but is going to be able to live with the help of Dorcas. But Dorcas is going to take down Dino Dan in their back line, and the point is already going in the side of Andromeda Spiral, but it's going to be a situation where Lunar Eclipse is just going to have to back. They're going to have to kite off of this already. Dorcas has already found 2 picks, including the Lucio mirror of Cloud Lemon, so good early fight for Andromeda Spiral, good point progress to start off, and they're going to be able to kind of put themselves in the space they want for these next couple fights.
Yeah, I also do think too though, the Ram, Soldier, and Genji, I feel like a lot of mobility, and I feel like Daniel's got a bit of an issue trying to clear that space and get close and do his damage without worrying about, just them sliding away or dashing away or something like that.
Dorcas here already has so much ult progress. They've already got beat, but Raptor very low, very low. They're going to use the window just at the perfect time to keep themselves alive. They're not going to have to contest beat, or they're not going to have to use beat for that, as it looks like off of that, Lunar Eclipse is going to try and kite back as well. So really good opportunity there with the shield from Raptor to be able to keep themselves alive. Dorcas does have this ult in hand, and honestly, if you're facing this this comp, as you're gonna have the Zarya on the point already, maybe you save that beat for that that grav to try and use that to keep yourself alive. Fallen Solo very low, but they're gonna get a slice onto Dino Dan. And now Raptor on the point, trying to keep it in their progress as long as they can. Badger's gonna use the Kiriko ult. You're gonna see the ult from Lunar used as well. Ult for ult, Kitsune Rush for Kitsune Rush. You're gonna have Kobayashi popping the OC. They're gonna find 1, they're gonna find 2. Looking for a potential 3rd, they're not going to be able to, but Raptor is going to be able to use the punches for him to take down the rest of them. That's a really good team fight. A good team fight win there for your team, especially with how long, with how little time they have left. You're going to see the grab get used. You get the beat to counteract it. And with that, not going to be able to touch the objective, and the first objective is going to go over to Andromeda Spiral.
Yeah, and I do think a lot of that just went down to, I feel like they're understanding a space and understanding a team comp. I feel like the Soj Genji, they made it really difficult for Dino Dan to play, and I feel like it's really all you have to do is just make it so the Reaper cannot TP on anything. They constant pressure. They didn't give the front line, even though the front line is kind of worse than the Lunar Eclipses is. I don't think they gave up the space. They held their space, and they gave us space when they should have, and they poked out the entire time, which made it really difficult. I mean, as we saw, Dino Dan just he couldn't get anything to go. Just constant pressure and just getting picked off in these fights. And I feel like that's a really good mental starter for Spiral, because you start 100-0 onto a point that does benefit you though. So now going to these points where it gets a bit more close distance, it's easier for Dino Dan and Vert to find value. I do wonder if it's going to get a bit more difficult. Though first round was still really good.
Yeah, first round was really good. Early fight here. Fallen Solo is going to go a little bit low, but they are going to get the healing they need using Yapper here. Going to set themselves on this kind of far off angle where they can do some good damage, but they're going to need the bulb from its vert. They're going to get taken down by Raptor, who's just walking down on them. Now, even though they flip the map, they have the mana advantage that they would need, so now they're going to try and push in here. Raptor, 195 HP. They are going to get the help that they need. They're going to be able to live through it. Punches form used for a little bit. Now, it's Vert going to be forced to use some of their bubbles defensively, but they're not going to be able to live off of it. Kobayashi finds a pick onto Dino Dan. Badger trying to stay alive. They are going to be able to get back to their team. But now it's going to give Andromeda Spiral the opportunity to reposition and set themselves up with the space they want.
And even though Raptor is playing its team comp that has a lot more damage in our front line, they are not afraid to get in there and get mixy still. And it's showing a lot because on that first fight, especially like finding the opening pick on Yapper, like it's good that you're not afraid to show aggression against team comp that has more aggression than you.
Very true. Raptor gonna use the punches for him, gonna take down Dino Dan. A good early pick. Looking for their next target, which is gonna be Cloud Lemon. They're gonna take them down, and already just off of 2 picks, you're already forcing them to kite once more.
And it's again that aggression, and because of that aggression, they're farming ultimates too. Like look at the support ults, for example. Lunar, Moon, and Dorcas being 30% over, 20 to 30% over the counterparts. That's a really good start into this fight because they're not need as much time that Lunar Eclipse needs to get these ults and start into the fight. And we see Donovan switch to Hanzo, but I don't agree with it because now they don't have as much aggression. They're forced to play this passive and rely on poke, even though they have Zarya, they have a bubble target, but no one can really get bubble outside of Vert themselves. So I mean, you see this aggression just walking
Raptor
in.
gonna get a punch to take out Dino Dan. Cloud Lemon is not gonna be able to live with Dorcas finding them as their main target. And now, despite the switches, it might have been just a little bit too late. I don't think you're gonna be able to touch here if you're Lunar Eclipse. Time is ticking. The Zarya is going to be able to touch, but now you have to figure out how best you can sustain this. Ult for ult, ult for ult. Kobayashi's going to pop the OC. They're not going to be able to get a pick right away. 7 HP in a dream. They're going to get the beat health from Dorcas to get them the extra bit that they need. Fallen Solo is going to find 2 already. Not going to be able to get that 3rd. Raptor using the Ramatra Nemesis form, and that's going to do it already. An early dominant showing from Andromeda Spiral on this first map, Busan. And they're going to take an early 1-0 lead.
I don't think it was even dominant. I mean, they didn't lose a fight. They won every fight there. And it was mainly because, honestly, Raptor was playing
Dorcas,
really aggressive
dirty.
and giving their team the basically constant space the entire game for the DPS to find picks in those eliminations that they were finding. But a lot of that was honestly up to their tank. Just, again, like I said, just being aggressive, finding openings, and overall just not being afraid of matching this front line. And, you know, having that confidence and that stability and trust, honestly, but not just, you know, your supports, but also with your DPS to be able to use the space that you're getting is really important and really strong going to the second map. And, you know, I look at, you know, Lunar Eclipse on the other side of them. I mean, last series we saw they did start kind of slow, really slow, as a matter of fact, against Dead on Arrival. So maybe it's kind of the same pattern, but I do wonder because, you know, at least from last time it was a little bit closer. That was not close at all. That was a complete, you know, it was a one-sided map, and so I do worry if the slow start might not benefit them. I feel like you can't start slow against Spiral at the moment because they're on fire.
They definitely are on fire. I agree with you 100%. Early on here, let's take a look at the map options now. Busan's out of the way. So, with Busan out of the way, what do you feel Lunar Eclipse should maybe try to go to in terms of a follow-up second map where maybe you'll be able to use the use this second map to your advantage, get some momentum on your way, and then try and swing how things are shaping up?
I mean, I honestly think one of their best bets might be to go towards a more I said this. I think we said this. Or I said this last series with these guys. But I think just go towards a map that's more front to back that allows you to kind of just brawl straight to their face instead of a map that like relies on angles. So maybe like a Kings Row or a New Junk City, a Runasapi maybe. I know you played last time and it worked, so maybe do that again. But I do think though you lean towards a map that you can play without worrying about angles and having to contest them. Just being able to run down on your opponents just in a straight line, I feel like might benefit Lunar, especially when I'm running like this Reaper Zarya duo. You really don't want to worry about all those angles. If you can just have your Reaper walk in, get aggressive, use those bubbles to find a pick or find damage, and Zarya walks in with, I think that is a perfect dynamic. So I don't think they want to worry about these extra angles. But as we saw, these guys get a little freaky. So I don't know what map they might choose some random map out of thin air.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it a couple times before where we suggest one thing and then teams are like, you know what, screw it, scrims row. So,
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
So
I've said it before, but you cannot predict what teams will play. As much as we try to, it's always fun to try to. 9 times out of 10, you just cannot predict what heroes people are going to
they're
play,
freaky.
what
These guys are
maps are going
freaky.
to choose, what they feel best on. It's near impossible to predict.
Yeah, that's why I give up. I just do it because it's fun, not because I think I'm gonna be right. Because I know I ain't gonna be right at all. They're gonna choose like Sylvester or something. And they're gonna win it too. Watch, they're gonna win it as well
Yeah,
because it would just make sense.
that's honestly, we suggest something and then teams are like, "No, let's just do this instead." And then it works.
Yep.
That's
So
just the entirety of casting
it
a
is what it is,
Nebula.
bro. It is what it is, man. We live or die by the by being incorrect.
Yeah.
If we're correct, we just die immediately.
Yeah. I hope that's not the case.
Speaking of being correct, we're gonna see what map they chose so we can see if I'm correct or incorrect or whatnot. Are you still deciding?
We are still
Oh
waiting
no, I'm sitting here for
on that
84
pick.
hours. I get it though.
We
We
are
gotta be a good
still,
map you
I mean,
choose.
they're obviously debating what they
Yeah,
want to go to and everything like that. I
of course.
as much as I want to laugh at my current predicament, it is a struggle.
Wait,
Oh
microphone?
lord, my microphone stand. Yep, it's a boom arm basically, right? A microphone arm,
Mm.
but it has broken on me. So I am now in the midst of this live stream just
How'd you break
holding
it?
onto the mic itself for dear
How did you
luck.
break it? How'd you do that?
I genuinely don't know. Like,
Mm,
I wish I had an answer on how I've done this. I genuinely have
mm.
no idea. Like, I, I, this is a struggle. How am I supposed to observe and prod at a time like this?
Tape maybe? Mm.
Tape. I don't know how strong of tape I have, but we do
I don't
have
know
the
either,
map
but my
pick at
best guess.
least. While I have a tiny panic, I guess. Um, I'll just announce the hero bans because I'm holding my mic. Um, so to start off, Andromeda is going to ban the Ramatra. Um, Andromeda is going to be banning the Reaper. And here's the map.
Hey, they
It's
chose Kings, but I
Scrims
predicted
Row.
that one. I predicted that. I'll take it. I'll take what I can. Let my cat outside. Hold on. There you go. But wait, the bands you said Andromeda banned Ramatra or
Uh,
Lunar banned
Lunar Eclipse
Ramatra?
banned Ramatra.
Okay,
Andromeda
Lunar
banned the
Eclipse banned
Reaper.
Ramatra. That does make a lot of sense. But then banning Reaper, that's gonna hurt. I mean, that's Dino Dan's. We saw last series. I mean, Dino Dan on Kings Row might be a villain. He might be like Doctor Doom, you know? And so
Okay, could you yap
I
for a little bit while we get into this map so I can look and see if I have a spare
can
mic stand somewhere?
I can yeah, I can
Help.
yeah, yes.
Okay, 1 sec.
You're good. But one thing, I do wonder though, like Lunar Eclipse's team comp, it's gonna be different. We know it's gonna be different. We're expecting it to be different because they don't have that Reaper. And we see it is very different. And Bastion May. I mean Bastion with the recent buff. I mean honestly both teams running Bastion with Fallen Solo on Bastion and then using Viper on Bastion as well. I do think the map and more so the buff, the fire rate buff, I do think does make Bastion a bit more consistent with damage. So I see why they're running it. Though on Zarya again. And again, like one of the problems that they don't have a perfect bubble target. They have like the Bastion, potentially maybe the Lucio even can bubble, but they don't have someone like a Genji or Reaper that can really use the bubble and get aggressive and take space. For Spiral, Andromeda Spiral though, they're kind of on like a really pokey bunker top with the Bastion, Ashe, Orisa, Wu Yang, Bap. I feel like a lot of good poke, a lot of good angles, and just a pretty decent amount of sustain as well with the Orisa and the Bap.
Alright, I do not
Um,
have any luck. Okay.
that's unlucky.
Thank you for yapping for me. Dino Dan is on the May. Okay, I do kind of like this. If you're not going to have the Reaper, the May is going to be a good option, as early on you're going to try and get the space for Badger as well, but you're going to be forced to use your personal Icicle. However, trying to use the opportunity to charge onto Kobayashi, you're not going to be able to just yet. Lunar Moon is going to be pressured a lot, but they are going to live, as Raptor hits the spear onto Dino Dan to keep them alive. And now Badger in a really tough position. They're going to get speared too! They're spear maxing, so Raptor early start, very good picks. I did in fact just go and also order a new mic arm.
I get it.
So
I get it.
good luck for the next couple streams. It's going to be interesting, but yeah, we go with it. It's Vert on this Zarya here. I mean, I understand the Zarya pick, but I don't know if it's going to get the value you really want it to.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
speared already.
they're against Zarya, but again, it's just that amount of poke that Spiral has. You're gonna peek through and you're gonna shred through all your bubbles before you even get a chance to walk in with it. So I don't know how much is gonna work, but I guess we'll.
On there had a little bit of a
figure it
tough
out.
time with setting up the turret positioning for that ult, but they're gonna use it. But with that, you're gonna see picks from It's Verd and Dino Dan and Yapper already. And with that, Lunar Eclipse is gonna get a point on the board. Very
I mean, it worked
good
there.
start. Yeah, it worked
It did
here.
work there. It did work there. And I do see, obviously, just if Vert can just get charged, they just walk in 1,000 charge. They kind of shred through anything. But the main issue they're gonna, especially on a point like this, where May does work better here, and because they have a lot of ults going into this fight, having a Bastion ult, the May ult, I do see them, having an ult advantage to some extent. The only problem is that the poke on getting through this underpass is so difficult because they don't really have anything to clear space with. They're forced to use an ultimate because they have no space. They're kind of like on his backside. They have no space. They're going to swing out really hard with an ult or two to maybe get past
You're
it.
gonna see
Or
the
just
May
walk for
Freeze
free
get
anyway.
used. It's not gonna get in, it's not gonna get the value that they wanted out of it. Kobayashi's gonna find the pick onto using Yapper with the help of Raptor. Raptor finding a pick onto Badger. And I mean, good ult for ult combo scenario. Fallen Solo.
And the issue I figured, I mean, this point's always difficult for any team to push, no matter who you are or what team comp you're on. And this is not an exception. But to having this Bastion and Ashe and Wu Yang even to an extent with the Orisa constantly applying pressure, you're gonna meet so much pushback pushing through this underpass. And so the ult usage are gonna be Lunar Eclipse's rise or fall going into this.
True, so you're gonna see turret form from using Yapper here. They're gonna get out of it already, looking to try and get some damage with that grenade, but Bob's gonna get thrown onto the point. Bob's going too far! Bob is taking a trip into the hotel. I don't think he has a reservation. He's gonna get walled off, and I think he's gonna be locked in here until the cops get called. There they go, there he is. Bob has been escorted out of the hotel. But even though the Bob didn't go where you wanted it to, I mean, you used that ult, you kind of made them look back at him nonetheless.
I mean, it just stopped the rotation. Anything you can do to stop someone, stop a rotation halfway through is good enough. And Bob was, even though, to be to be to be fair, kind of a weird Bob to say the least. I mean, they still split them.
Double synchronized Bastion ults. Fallen Solo takes down Badger. Vert's gonna find a pick onto Dorcas. The wall. Dino Dan's wall. Oh, the most unfortunate timing possible as the wall stops the grenade from Yapper. And now, point will continue going. Dorcas is on the Wu Yang. Raptor's gonna be looking for a target. I'm sorry, I like the bubble sounds of this gun.
It does sound.
And the squishy and the squeaky toy. But Raptor already half HP, gonna be forced to use some of their cooldowns, especially the gold. I find that's gonna be the big one for them right now. The Mei ult's gonna get used, but Raptor's just gonna walk in and use the Orisa ult. Ow! It's a 4K!
Oh my goodness.
Raptor waited
that's
until
like a
their
reversal.
team broke the ammo. The team breaks the ammo and they got a 4K out of it.
Oh my god. Okay. All right, Demon. I mean, we've seen that from all serious from Raptor though. Raptor is an incredible tank. They're making space. They're doing damage. They're finding picks. They're doing it all. It's all for this team, and everyone else is kind of working around them. Lunar Eclipse though, struggling. They're struggling to push past this. And for this fight, all they have is window, and there's 1 minute left. Oh my god.
They don't have the time advantage and people are falling like flies. It's Vert goes over to the Diva, looking to try and maybe have some form of help with that, you know. Maybe it'll help them out a little bit. We'll have to see. But that Orisa ult sent a message.
Yeah, and I don't even see the Diva. I feel like the Diva, I would understand if it's like maybe like third point, first point. The second point, it's not, high ground doesn't matter too much. It matters, but you kind of want to meet that front to back, and instead they're kind of like forcing these weird rotations. Where are they going? Are they going top? What are they accomplishing here?
I think they're trying to go and do like a flank angle. Dino Dan's gonna get hit with the spear early on. Fallen Solo. Oh, this Terraform is gonna get taken out. Using Yapper's gonna find 3. It's just pick for pick.
Never mind, not bad. Never mind. Never mind. Was not familiar with your game,
Yeah.
Lunar Eclipse. I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. In this fight, though, Lunar Eclipse don't really have anything on lock. Andromeda Spiral, they have 3 ults above 90%, having the Bastion ult that they're popping early. They're not even touched, though.
They're not gonna be able to touch.
Not gonna be able to
Fallen
touch.
Solo will get rid of the immortality field, but it's not gonna be enough. Kobayashi does have this bob. Maybe we're looking to try and use that bob for a touch, but you weren't able to. Now it's Vert on this Diva. They're gonna get demech'd. Right as I was about to say, they might get more value on this point than the second one, but they're gonna get demech'd already. And there's only a minute left for Lunar Eclipse to try and push this into a third point and force some overtime action.
Yeah, but the good thing is, though, they have a lot of ults. They have everything but this window. Oh, they swapped to Kiri, so I guess they don't have window at all. They have Rush, which I have 50% only, though. But, I mean, again, I feel like this point can work a bit better for D.Va. At least you have something to use, like you can fly on high grounds, take that space, be aggressive, shoot from above. So maybe the D.Va, I can see the D.Va now. I see the D.Va. It might work, but this Bob is going to be a problem. And they're stalling it now. There's only 30 seconds left.
The bob is going to be a problem. I feel like you have to kind of hold that bob, though. You can't let yourself get picked off early, but you get picked off early. Raptor's going to use the ult. They're not going to be able to find a pick off of it, but it is going to force the beat from Cloud Lemon. That bob now is going to become a vital part for Andromeda Spiral. Dorcas is going to switch over to the Wu Yang. I feel like you throw that bob in, you have to throw it in perfect. You had a bit of a misplay with the bob earlier, throwing him into the hotel. You have to throw him onto the point. He has to touch. He is going to be able to. He's going to force that contest, and you have Lunar Moon's window to try and keep this angle as an angle that you guys can use. Fallen Solo is going to get taken down, and Lunar is going to go and try and be the next one to contest onto the point. Dorcas is going to come with them, and Kobayashi as well. The last person to touch is going to be It's Vert on the baby Diva mech. They're going for a stop, but they're not going to get it! And they just barely don't get to cap to that third point. So it'll be 2 points and almost full progress on the third for Lunar Moon. And I mean, as much as I hate to do it to them, is it not going to show
What
it?
a replay? You have replays this whole time, you never use them? They don't even work.
Rarely use them. Yeah,
They don't
that's
even
why
work.
they
Yeah,
don't
that's
even
probably
work.
why.
Come on.
Man,
There we
what are we
go.
doing here? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this play was insane.
Absolutely
Insane.
ridiculous.
Oh, unbelievable.
Just
Nah, it was really good.
ridiculous.
Nah, it was really good. But I mean, I guess that's kind of like, that's just what Raptors doing. They've been doing that whole series. I mean, even the fight right after that, fighting this first pick on Danodan, right before the fight even started, like Raptors just they're that guy. It's what they are. Like,
Raptor is him.
a lot of what Andromeda Spiral is trying to do and what's working for them is because Raptors able to create this space and apply the pressure and just be a solid rock for these guys to walk around and do things around as they kind of sit there and don't die. Um, a lot of their plans, it seems like kind of not necessarily live or die by Raptor, but it seems like a lot of the plans are excelled if Raptors are able to perform in the way that they have been. As for Lunar Eclipse, I mean, I see the May Vision, and I do see the Zarya, but I honestly do think if you're going to play Diva, it is on this point. This point is really good for Diva, but it's not on Zarya, which I don't think is needed for their team comp and the way they want to play. I feel like something a bit more, not necessarily brawly, but something that doesn't require a bubble or require uptime, like Zarya, for example, I feel like might benefit. But, I mean, if you can bubble the
Maybe.
escape, I mean, it could work. It might be good, but I don't know how much they're going to be able, I
Leon,
don't
you're
know how
getting
much
some
they're going to be able to get away with
Raptors
that.
on this hazard though. I like the hazard pick. I feel like if they can find a good spot or good target to jump onto, it's going to give them the value they need, as they're already able to burn down 2 of Vert's bubbles and take them down already. Dan's wall is going to be good just to try and help them, but Fallen Solo is going to find a pick onto using Yapper. Cloud Lemon trying to run for the best that they, for their life. They're going to be able to live, but now Fallen Solo set themselves up on this height position. Its Vert's already switched over to the Diva now. And the first point of this payload for King's Row has went over to Andromeda Spiral early on, and Fallen Solo is just kind of looking for some new targets they can go after.
Yeah, I do think Spyro's team comp, they're just quick, aggressive, they're quick. They get in your face, and that's a problem. That's going to be an issue. And I feel like the switches, we see Sombra, down in the entries of Sombra, Vert on the Diva, it allows you to keep up with Spiral's aggression in their pace. And I feel that's definitely good switches leading into this.
I like the Sombra pick. I feel like there's 2 different ways you can kind of play the Sombra. I'm curious to see which one they kind of go for. Either you can play this kind of the same way that you might try to counter like a Doomfist player, where you wait for them to kind of go into your backline and you hack them, get rid of their movement abilities, and try and burn them. Or they're going to try and play it the way that they are kind of playing it now, where they're trying to cause aggression, make them focus on this off angle, make them focus on their backline and, distract them during these fights. But it's going to be a question of how much value they're going to be able to get out of it, though. As
Limits are pushing it, though, not doing anything. They're
yeah,
already
so
at
far.
the final stretch to cap.
Ooh, Fallen Solo's going to get the dupe. That's going to be detrimental for them right now. That dupe is going to do wonders considering you're facing off against a Diva. If you can get that EMP built and pop it, which you are going to be able to, it's going to get 2, and those are arguably some of your most valuable targets, being both its Vert and Cloud Lemon. Using Yapper has that right click in place. They did use it. They didn't find the pick, and Dorcas will take them out there. So that's kind of the give and take of a Sombra. You have the value. It gives you that value if you're trying to face off against the team, but when it comes to your own team, you kind of put yourself in a tough situation if they get a dupe onto you.
Yeah, and the now switch to Venture, down in Venture. I mean, I don't necessarily hate the idea, but also do think, the only way you can really play is just kind of deny the hazard and annoy the hazard from doing anything. I also think, too, playing against this Venture and Soldier comp, they're going to dig in and just take so much damage. You're not really going to go in anything. The guy's been going in and out for essentially no reason.
Kobayashi here. As the OC, they are going to use it. It's Vert looking for a pick. They're going to get taken down before they can remech, though. So despite all of that, Dorcas is the only one left. They are going to get taken down, so you did use the Diva remech to keep yourself alive. And you did use OC as well if you are the side of Andromeda Spiral, but so far, I mean, you have you have some ults if you need to use them. Like, for both sides, honestly. You have using Yamper.
Yeah.
Dino Dan already takes down Kobayashi, falling solo dangerously low. They are going to be able to live off of it so far, and Dorcas with his beat, good opportunity. Raptor with this ult as well. I mean, if the ult gets the players that you need it to, the value you're going to get out of it is insane, especially with Fallen Solo already almost at their dupe, just a couple percentage away.
Yeah.
Dupe a high value target with them stuck, and you know, switch this fight from potential loss to a win if it's going that route. You're gonna see the Soj dupe already at 58% for an OC. Opposing beat from Cloud Lemon's gonna get used. Dino Dan's gonna use their tectonic shock as well. You're gonna see the OC dupe. Raptor's gonna pop their ult as well. It's gonna stick some targets. The immortality is taken out before Fallen Shadow uses their sticky nades, and now very small amount left to push here for Andromeda Spiral, but using Yapper did pop the OC. They aren't going to find a pick with it, though. Cloud Lemon and its Vert, the main ones that are going to be able to contest this point. Its Vert does have that D.Va mech if they need it. That D.Va bomb is going to help out a fair bit on this point, as they're going to be able to use it and force the teams away for a little bit. It's not going to find a pick, though. Its Vert back into their mech. They're going to have to rebuild another mech bomb if they want to potentially use that, but Raptor's going to get taken down right early on. Fallen Solo on this Genji, they're just going to decide to reset all of that pressure, and you don't get the map out of it. A lot of ults used for both teams.
I mean, the good thing is that Lunar Eclipse won. And even though Andromeda Spiral had 5 minutes to cap this point, third point on any hybrid point is, or hybrid map, sorry, it's always difficult to cap. And I mean, so far they're proving it. They have 2 minutes to go, and I mean, that's, you know, 3-4 fights. That's not too bad. The only thing here is that they gotta make sure the ult rotation is flawless. They're, you know, they play perfect, and that's a good start. Picking off Dorcas early on.
The Dorcas pick, that's going to force Andromeda Spiral back for a fair bit here. They're gonna have to be careful now. Dorcas is going to get back, and that speed is going to help them a fair bit, but they're going to have to figure out how they want to approach this. They have...
I mean, you have the Soj, you have the Rush, you have the Carry.
They have the Soj Rush. Those are the good ones to use right away. The OC is going to get used. They're looking for their target. They're going to take down Badger. You do see the window get popped from Badger, though. Dino Dan has that Tectonic Shock ult if they need, but they're going to get taken down by Fallen Solo before they can use it. Using Yapper, half HP, looking for their next target. They have that right click in hand. They're not going to be able to get the final blow, though, for Raptor, as its Vert is going to use the defense matrix to keep their team alive, using it to eat the shots from Raptor. Now, you have this D.Va bomb again if you need it. The beat from Cloud Lemon keeps the baby D.Va alive during the bomb. Fallen Solo out of their blade form, looking for their pick, looking for Cloud Lemon. They are going to take them down just at the end, but Dino Dan finds Dorcas. It's the DPS and Lunar alive for the side of Andromeda Spiral. Fallen Solo didn't die there. They are now taken out, but I could have sworn they were going to get, you know, killed from the D.Va.
Yeah, but I don't know. What started as a 5.5 minute advantage. Now they're in 30 seconds. This is the final fight, and Andromeda have nothing. They have not a single ult, and the closest ult is Kiriko Rush at 52%. My Lunar Eclipse, they have this Soul Journal from using Yapper. This is looking very rough for Andromeda Spiral.
Andromeda Spiral needs less than 2 meters to win this, but Lunar Eclipse has what they would need, but you're gonna get DMAC'd early. You're gonna lose your D.Va. You're gonna lose your. You're going to lose the players that you need, and you're not going to be able to touch.
What just happened?
I think it's a C9.
That was not a C9. That was a 5v2.
Well, 5v2, yeah, not really a C9, but C9 in the sense that they weren't able to contest because they were pushed back. Not a C9 like, oh, I'm right next to the point and I just forgot to. Raptor obviously play the game with this. Yeah. Oh. It never gets old. But, oh, talk about a insane hold. You don't come out with a victory if you're Lunar Eclipse, but Jeez, that is a hold of champions.
I'm trying to figure out how they even died in that last fight. Like, what even I'm actually watching it right now. I need to see what happened because they had the space, they had the advantage, and they kinda just, like, fall apart.
They had the
Oh, I
space, they
see.
had the advantage,
Dino
but
Dan
the diva gets
they just got too
demeked.
aggressive. No, it wasn't even that. Dino Dan died, like, before the DMAC even happened. I
Yeah,
think,
Dino Dan got picked off, and then the diva got picked off, and
I think Dino Dan
then
got a
it,
bad
it
aggro.
kind
Got a
of
little bit aggro. It happens, though, I do get it,
yeah.
but
And I mean,
I think Dino Dan's aggression just got to him, and I feel like that's it's one of those things where
mhm,
you don't want that pressure to get to you last second, and, you kinda, like, overthink steps or maybe you don't think
mhm,
enough about your steps and you let the pressure get to you and you lose the fight, like, that's not it happens to everybody, but,
yep,
now because of that, because of, those very small mistakes, you're now on to match point, and, if you lose this next map, you're out. Not just out, loser back, you're out of the tournament entirely.
that is true. It is when last map territory, match point territory. We
Mhm.
do have a 5-minute bio break for both teams, but if you are Lunar Eclipse, as as using Yapper had said in the match chat, which I mean you guys can't see, but as they just said, we've been here before. So
So,
this
Aura?
isn't unfamiliar territory. You've been here before. You have the chance to maybe go for a comeback. Reverse sweep
Mhm.
is always a possibility,
Mm.
but we will be back in roughly 5 minutes as the teams are going to go for a bio break, and we will be back momentarily. Hello, everybody. We are back from the bio break. Both teams are going to be returning to their seats momentarily. And we're going to get this map underway. We do have the map pick already. I am trying to adjust this microphone to the best of my abilities while it is currently trying to give up on me
I
more
get
than it
it,
already
bro.
has. But,
I get it, man.
well, I have the chance to right now. Let's take a look at the map options. Let me know what you think already. Let me know what your first thought is.
hmm Well, I mean, it was way closer than Busan, so I think they're on the right track. I honestly think they could have won that map. I think it was just a minor mistake. But I do believe going towards maps that allow you to play more front to back do benefit you, and shown that it was closer. And the team comps that um Lunar Clips want to play are less on angles and more on just how good can you live. And I do think a map like College Runasapi, honestly, even though it's a bit angle heavy, I think they played it last time. We saw them do pretty dang well last time on a map like that. Also, Circuit wouldn't be a bad shout. Um, they played it last time. It was a little rough, but definitely closer than the other ones were. So I do think Sugar Valley could be a good exception for them as well. And it kind of relies on your DPS to, it's a DPS map, which, the team with the better DPS wins that map basically. Not entirely, but it's kind of how it goes. Also, the way, a good, consistent, reliable tank works on circuit too. And, maybe they're confident in Vert. Maybe they think Vert, is that guy and can just go in there, do their thing on Sigma or Orisa or whoever they have Vert on. But I don't really know. I don't know what map they could lean towards. There's a few different options, but it's kind of a playstyle thing over a map thing, I guess.
Fair enough. Well, map choice is going to be Dorado.
Okay, what, bro?
I'll also take the opportunity real quick.
Okay.
It's Vert giving us a heads up to give a shout out to Dino Dan 6554. Give them a happy birthday.
Give them a happy birthday. Wait,
Yeah.
are they gonna get the birthday buff now? They're down 2 maps on Dino Dan's birthday.
Yeah.
They might get the birthday buff. We might have just getting
This
the
is the
birthday
true
buff
birthday buff
by saying that.
scenario, but hero
Uh-huh.
bans. Lunar Eclipse is going to be banning the Hazard. Andromeda Spiral is going to be banning the Sombra.
Sombra?
Yeah.
Huh. Um. Hmm. I'm trying to think on. I mean, Dino Dan can play Sombra, and I guess because it's Dorado of all maps, they might have assumed Dino Dan was gonna play Sombra because I mean, honestly, I think the only other character we've seen him play was Genji. Does Dinodan play Tracer? I don't even think. I think Gapper plays Tracer. I don't think Dinodan plays Tracer though.
I
I
honestly
think it's
don't
just.
know, but
I don't think they played Tracer at all last series. But these bands. I mean, I do wonder if they could have banned different things, especially on the side of Lunar Eclipse. But I also, I mean, sorry. I mean, yeah, no, I was right on the side of Lunar Eclipse. But I do think though that they still make sense. I feel like they still work. And we load out these team comps. I mean, the Echo does not surprise me. They put Echo last map, and they showed a lot of good things, a
yeah.
lot of good moments. So I do think the Echo from Fallen Solo makes sense. On
Yeah,
Southern Eclipse,
definitely
on the
makes sense.
Diva, this team comp, I feel they're on the Diva, the Sojourn. That's like default characters for those two. The Venture from Danodan, I do worry about the potential it can get because on a map like this, you're gonna be using a lot of abilities to get on top of high grounds. And
Mm-hmm.
against this Ash Echo combo, you're gonna be you're gonna be meeting hell trying to get anywhere against that Ash Echo on Venture because you
Yeah,
don't
I
have the
feel
instant blinks. You can't push cart that well. Like it's gonna be real difficult.
I feel like it's going to be difficult. I feel like early on Dino Dan's going this venture. I feel like afterwards they might switch if they can't attack on this high ground fast enough. Feel like they're gonna wait to try and jump up. There they go. They're gonna use the jump with its vert to take down Kobayashi. Dorcas is gonna be forced to try and retreat early on here. I'm trying something new. I'm like crouched down to make sure my mic can work while it's just rested on my desk, but the show goes on as Cloud Lemon, very low, is going to live. It's Vert gonna go back up to this high ground, looking to try and cause some damage to these supports. Not gonna be able to just yet. You're gonna see a lot of crit damages onto the support though. Raptor's gonna be able to hold down that space very well for their supports. Gonna jump down, take down Badger with the stomp. And its Vert's gonna be demeched. Venture is going to get taken down. There was pressured enough to get taken down. It's Vert taken down before they can get their remech, and Cloud Lemon gets taken out too. So a good way to stop the progress that Lunar Eclipse had already got there for Andromeda Spiral.
Yeah, and I do think, even though the first pick came out from Dinodan, I do think, you know, again, the problems that I was talking about before happened again, where it's just, even though they have super broad potential, Andromeda Spiral has so much poke on a map where poke is, you know, and then more beneficial. They're gonna have to do so much work on the side of Lunar Eclipse to just clear distance to get close enough to Andromeda Spiral for this Venture to work, for this Diva to work, for this, you know, this backline to work.
Badger takes down Kobayashi. That's an early first pick. Its Vert has the remake if they need. Raptor has that Winston Primal Rage if they need it as well. So really, 2 extra lives for both tanks right now. Dorcas very low, is going to be able to live. Fallen Soul is going to opt out to dupe the Venture, and that might help them out here because the damage they're going to be able to do on this backline is going to be really good. They're going to get the Excavation Initiation already. Raptor's going to pop Badger, not needing to use the Primal Rage just yet. And their team kind of got split off there as Lunar Eclipse fell once more. So now Andromeda Spiral still has three ults in hand, but Lunar Eclipse technically will have the ult advantage with 4, but it's going to be the question of how well these ults are going to go for them that will really decide it.
You know, I agree. I do think, though, they have a lot. So, I mean, you're
Raptors on the Primal already.
I'm gonna lose.
Forces out the Suzu, going after Cloud Lemon. Cloud Lemon
Raptor
will
Korean.
escape, but they're going to get chased down by Raptor.
He's half Korean. I give him that. They're half Korean. I give him half of it.
They're going to choose to try and stay into this fight. Dinodan's going to get taken down. Using Yapper on this height, it's going to get hit once. They're just going to have to run back to the spawn. And it's Vert will try and set themselves up at least close to this payload, but you don't have the time advantage now. Time is slowly ticking.
32 seconds left. I mean, this defense from Spiral is looking more than phenomenal. It's looking, I mean, perfect. And
Kitsune rush for Kitsune rush.
I don't know how much of it's going to affect this defense inside of Andromeda Spiral. And I mean, they're almost to use the more hurts because this Bob is going to hurt them real bad.
Yeah, this Bob, honestly, set up in a really good situation here. You have the beat if you feel you need it for a sustain of the opposing team's ults. And that Bob just being something that can contest is going to be a big problem, a big thorn to deal with. Using Yapper's going to use the OC, but overtime is ticking. Somebody's going to have to touch at least to force that overtime counter to continue. Fallen Solo's going to choose to go to the Kiriko for the dupe. They're going to take down Badger, focusing out using Yapper, and they're going to force it so using Yapper doesn't have the ability to touch.
Wow.
Really, really good play there by the Echo, deciding to go aggressive, go in their face, make them worry about you, so that they're so preoccupied on dealing with that Echo that they're not able to touch the point to force the OT to keep ticking. If I'm not mistaken, the person that came back right at the end was probably going to be their Lucio. So, really good job there from Fallen Solo.
Yeah, but, you know, for it to be match point, series point for, you know, the tournament lives of both teams, that last, you know, that attack was the worst outcome they could have had. Because now they don't Andromeda Spiral do not have to do that much to win this series. Not even just cap, but to win this series. Lunar Eclipse though, this is going to be they're gonna have to make sure that pressure they cannot fold under it. I mean, they have to hold Andromeda Spiral for 4 minutes to the bridge, which is not that far. That's like 30. That's like 20 seconds of pushing the cart, maybe 30 to get
Now,
it there,
I am
and
gonna
they gotta hold it
say
for 4 minutes.
for Lunar Eclipse, I do like the choice that they have here going with Dino Dan on this cast. I feel like you're expecting them to be aggro. You're expecting that aggression early on. I feel like Dino Dan with that flashbang is going to be helpful, but Fallen Soul is going to take down using Yapper already with the TP. I guess they were ready for some aggression. I don't know if they were ready for a Sim TP strat, though, early on. It's already down 3. Kobayashi takes down Dino Dan, and now the payload's going to get pushing. They have 3 on the payload. Now is the time. Dino Dan's going to go over to the Reaper. They have the Diva. They need to make it work here. First, they
Yeah, I
have
mean,
to
they
worry
gotta
about at
touch.
least touching.
Yeah, that touch is more important than anything else afterwards.
But Dino Dan on this Reaper is going to be good at least because they are playing this up close angle. At least you're going to see the TP already from Fallen Solo, kind of going into the backline, trying to really make it Lunar Eclipse feel like they have no space to kind of fall back and rely on. Raptor is low, roughly half health. They aren't going to get taken out just yet. You got the punches for him going in. It's Vert will take down Lunar, though. Dino Dan takes down Fallen Solo, so Andromeda Spiral down a player. Looking for what they can. Vert takes down Kobayashi. Raptor is going to try and kite back, but they have that Reaper on their tail, and they're going to get taken down. Dorcas, the last one left. They're going to get taken down in a little bit of a... not really a stagger. They die close enough to where Raptor was taken out that it's not a full stagger. But still. Kobayashi's going to go over to the Soj. So Soj Sim, and that Sim is really close to a wall. Using Yapper's going to go to lock the legs. You're going to see the Sim ult get popped here. They're going to try and find their first target. It's going to be Dino Dan. Dorcas gets the boop onto them. It's Vert. Got to be taken out of their mech. Dino Dan was 99% to their ult. The only person left is a soldier who's locked on the legs. They're not going to do it. That's going to be Losers Finals going over to Andromeda Spiral in a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, I mean, the Guardians were playing extremely well. I mean, especially Raptor, in my opinion. I think Raptor, if we're talking about MVPs, I mean, that might be my MVP. I think Raptor was incredible this series. I think they made the jobs of the DPS and the lives of the DPS so much easier by just being the anchor and someone that, is reliable, does their job, and can do more than just their job. They can find picks, they can make plays, they can win a fight by themselves. There's so much they can do, but they're able to do all of it on top of just being a solid tank. And, I look at Lunar Eclipse and, last series they did reverse sweep. It was really good. But I do think with how this series was kind of starting out and how it ended, I guess it was Lunar Eclipse just could never really get their footing in. They could never find their foot in. They were so close on King's Road, but they couldn't finish the job. And on that last map, we saw like they let their foot off the gas fully, and it was they did the best they could. That defense, they won a fight. They started for long enough that I think like it was 2 minutes or something, but they had not enough gas, and they lost. So it was a good attempt on the side of Lunar Eclipse. I mean, they got here to finish third place. So obviously, they did a really good job this season. But you do wonder like, could it have been more? Could there have been more to them, or was this all they had?
Yeah, honestly, well said. Um, this kind of leads to the big question of the night for us. And I mean, I'm gonna ask your opinion right off the bat. I kind of have a feeling I know who you're gonna say, but who do you think should be MVP?
Raptor.
Raptor? Yeah,
Yeah, that's my group. That's my
that
group.
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm a tank player, man. I'm biased. I'm not biased, but I do think like a lot of what they could have done was because of Raptor and how not just strong but confident they were on that tank roll to play against
Mhm.
Itzvert and just pulling off it. Honestly looking like a really strong tank and one of the best tanks I've seen in this division so far, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, Raptor 100% earned their stripes today.
Hmm.
So I fully agree with you on Raptor being the MVP choice for tonight. 100%. And with that, I mean, we might as well drag them in for an interview. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Probably,
let's get them in here.
if there's ever a time, I think now is the best time to do so.
Mm.
So let's do it. Hello, Raptor.
Hello.
So, hello, Raptor. Congrats, first off. Congrats
Thank you.
to your team on coming out with the win tonight, making it all the way over to the grand finals now for Div 4.
Yes, we are very excited for that.
Yeah, how are you guys feeling after that match?
Good. We it's a little change of pace. We play a little slower, knowing that this team likes to punish a lot, so we had to play a little slower, keep it a little calmer compared to what we've been doing, which is fastest tempo we can find, doing anything, just going as fast as we can.
Yeah, fair enough.
So yeah, um, we had Kobe playing great out there because of his chicken parm. He had a chicken parm beforehand. He dedicated the win to that.
Dedicating the win to the chicken parm. Okay, that's a new
Yes,
one,
he
but
did.
you know what?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
But you
if
know,
it works, it works.
so he was doing great out there, getting all the picks we needed before the fight start. We were able to stabilize mid fight, keep up, and just live through all the damage they were doing. It was everything with the game plan.
Yeah, I mean,
Huh?
very well said. Now for interview questions, obviously, typically, if this was not a losers finals or a grand finals match, we'd come in and ask you, is there a team in particular that you're excited and or nervous to face next? But well, I mean, you already kind of know who you're going to be facing next.
Yeah.
It's it's going to be grand finals. You're going to be
Yeah.
facing off against Vitality Surge. Tell me your thoughts on Vitality Surge as a team. Kind of tell me what you're expecting. How do you feel going into that match?
To be fair, I have team blindness. I don't know what team I'm playing even in the middle of the game. So I I'm pretty sure we've looked at some stuff about them, but I can't confirm.
I mean, to be fair,
I
it will be a winter finals um, rematch, as you guys did play
yes.
against them in winter finals. You did take a map in that as well, so
Yeah, yeah. Just unfortunate events. They played a better game than us. We shall come back and do that. So
yeah, fair
I'm
enough.
excited.
Tetra, you have
We'll
any
get some
questions you want to ask
sleep tonight.
as well?
I hate to go backwards, but I do want
Hmm,
to go backwards because I want to talk about it.
sure.
I will talk about Lunar Eclipse because we went into this state. They had such a phenomenal game the last series. Were you expecting it to be that way for you guys to not
Uh,
just win, but to kind of like dominate the entire series?
uh, control. Yes, we've done so much practice on those comps and doing it how we want to play on control. Yes, we expect it to be a 2-0,
Mhm.
just not like half our team not dying.
Yeah, that was the main thing. It's like
Yeah.
I'm like
Um.
these guys are invincible almost.
Yeah. We were expecting we like this all went to what we planned out. So
Mhm,
everything it kind of fell into our hands. I would like to
mhm,
say everything was mapped out from there.
mhm,
So I mean, it kind of went. It pretty much did go the way we wanted to.
mhm,
So I wasn't completely worried about this game. So
mhm.
I
Okay.
we played it how we wanted to.
That's good planning. That's what we call that, good planning right there. Y'all figured it out. Y'all
Mhm.
had it before. You had a game plan.
Yeah, we had
Y'all,
a game plan
y'all,
going in.
y'all. Obviously it showed. You guys played
Yeah.
not. You guys played phenomenal. That was a great game out of all of you. Not just you,
Yes.
because I know you're the
Yes.
MVP. because I
Yeah.
basically forced down Caustic's throat
No,
to make you
no,
MVP, but
you
the rest of
trust
you
me,
guys all made it.
you did not force it down my throat.
I'm being dramatic. I know. I'm being
If I'm being
dramatic. I
realistic,
Yeah.
Raptor forced it down my throat, and I'm gonna kind of lead this into my secondary, my second question. Take us back a little bit. Take us over to King's Row, second point defense. If I'm
Oh, the
not
Orisa
mistaken,
ult.
the Orisa ult
Oh,
holding that down, till your team breaks
well,
the immortality
yeah,
field, and then getting a 4K off of that. Kind of walk us through it.
yeah.
Walk us through the team comms. Kind of what was going on in
So
that
yeah,
situation.
the plan there was wait for their turn to be done, and they popped my ult, which kind of ends their turn instantly. So I walked in, popped my ult, yelling at them the whole time to break Immort because they already wasted all their movement abilities. So I was
Yeah.
yelling at them to break Immort the whole time, and it just happened to be perfect amount of time. The Zard popped her bubble a little too early and died to it.
Yeah,
That's
I
basically
mean,
how it went. Yeah.
yeah, it was a wild ult to see. I mean, people talk about the Orisa ult having the capability of getting insane value, but you never truly see it to its full potential until you see it in
Yeah,
moments
because
like this.
yeah, mainly because there's so much movement in the game at this
Mhm.
point in time, especially how fast the games become. It's mainly because of that. Everything has so much movement. Like you got bat boops, you got amp speed, you got what else is there? There's so much. It's
Yeah,
just
too many to list.
yeah.
So, third kind of question for you, and then after this, we'll give you. I'll have a little bit of a lighter question for you. After, I mean, Tetra will have their opportunity to ask a question as well. Um, what part of your performance tonight are you personally most proud of?
Probably our control. I would like to say that we played each part perfectly as we should. It went exactly to plan. Everything was mapped out from the start. Pretty much 99-0 on both the points. I'm happy. That's all I can be. That's the most happy I've been.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, Tetra, you got any other questions?
I do have one more question. We asked this I think I asked this a week or two ago, and the answer we got was Biba Doobie for some unknown reason. If you're, what song do you listen to go in
That was my
to your
light
match?
listen. That was my light
Oh
question I was
Lord,
gonna
took it
ask
from you,
too.
dork. Took it from you, dork.
Sorry, say it one
Same
more time.
brain cell.
I'm deaf.
What song do you go into when you go into a match? Like
What's your
your
warm
intro
up song?
warm up song.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a trashy word,
So
but
let
what
me
is
let me find the person that creates it.
creates it? What do you mean? You
Yeah,
don't
I
know the
don't know the
song?
exact. I don't know the
Okay,
exact.
okay,
Bang
so you don't
Bang
even know
by Karn
it.
by Karn. Bang Bang by
Karn?
Karn. Yeah, C comma Naan,
You
Okay.
said C comma.
or not comma. Whatever it's called. The other one.
We'll find
I don't
it.
know.
Hey, Con, I gotta find this now. Hold
Yeah.
on. What was it
No, no,
again?
no.
You
It's
said
Peak. Trust.
bang bang.
Yeah.
Oh, like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
The one from the one anime. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mashi something like that. I know what you're talking about. I like that song.
Yeah.
That, that's
That's what I
that's
that's what I
dope.
usually go into, and then my backup's
That
like sea shanties during the game.
that might actually be a terrible warm up song, but
You know
whatever,
what?
bro.
I do like the
Whatever.
backup sea shanty as a warm up song. That's a pretty fun one too.
This way
Well,
to do
Well,
for a tank player to be good is listen to terrible music. I mean, Jesus.
apparently
What
that's what I've
is
been
your
told by
music
my
taste?
friends. That's what I've been
Oh
told by
my
my
god,
teammates and my
that
friends.
is yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I'm not gonna
sounds
lie,
about
that
right.
is some yeah. That's okay.
well, I mean, I guess one. I did say I'd give you a light question, even though Tetra had the same question that I had. So I'll give you a backup light question, one that one of our other producers would have asked if they were here anyways. What's your favorite color, Twin?
Oh, orange.
Orange. All right, simple enough.
You should see my
Get him
game
out of
colors.
here.
It's
Get him out
dark
of here,
orange and light
bro.
orange.
Get him out of
Enemy,
here. You're just making
my
me
team's
mad
dark
now.
orange. The enemy team's light
Okay,
orange.
that is an interesting
This
one though.
not my MVP. Get this dude out of here. Just not my MVP.
I've ruined my reputation. Dang.
Sea
Okay.
shanties
Whatever.
and sea shanties and the favorite color is orange. Get them out of
Well,
here, please.
Okay. Well, y'all have
Fuck.
a good.
yeah, I was gonna say, ironically enough, that is kind of the end of the
Yeah.
interview. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yo.
congratulations first off. I
Yep.
mean, we're gonna look forward to the grand finals match that's probably
Mhm.
Yes.
gonna be
Tune
coming
in.
up later on as well. Yeah, grand
Mhm.
finals match against Vitality Surge, and good luck to you guys. I mean,
Thank
go
you.
back with your team, celebrate, and kind of bask in the moment right now because you guys are at least grand finals bound.
Yes.
So,
We
I
will.
mean, enjoy and best of luck to you, man.
We will. Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good night. And with that, that's going to do it for tonight. A 3-0 match for Div 4. Andromeda Spiral takes the win against Lunar Eclipse. Will be going on to grand finals for Andromeda Spiral, facing off against Vitality Surge. But not the end of our week. So far for confirmed matches, not yet including any of the matches that are yet to be scheduled or anything like that, which we will include later on. But for now, we do have one more match coming up on Saturday, actually. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be Division 5 Grand Finals. Andromeda Horizon versus Banana Daddies. So for the Andromeda fans out there, you just watched Spiral. And Horizon's got a chance to take Division 5 as their grand final winner. So maybe some history book scenario there. A little bit of bragging rights for both Andromeda teams coming up next. But yeah, that'll be Saturday, 8 p.m. start EST. This has been your Nebula stream. I have been your producer, observer, and shoutcaster with a broken mic stand for the night, Caustic. And joining me, we have Tetra, our analyst for the night. Fellow caster did an incredible job. And
Thanks, man.
behind the scenes as well, we have, might as well give a shout out as always. Shout out to our lovely lobby host tonight, Anemone, behind the scenes, also known as Ash. And with that, we will see you all on Saturday minimum, potentially Friday, depending on streams. We will see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.